you're in the writing community, you have probably heard many of your peers worry about plagiarism, or perhaps you are worried about it yourself. Nobody wants their work stolen, and of course I am no exception, but honestly, are we even worth stealing from? Hi, I'm Lulu, welcome to my channel. Before we start, please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Can you tell me what the biggest difference is between these two paintings? No. Well, one could sell for roughly $2 million. The other is worthless. Why is that? Well, one was done by my son when he was 11. The guy who slapped this mess together is named Jackson Pollock. One is worth stealing. The other, well, it now lives in my basement with all the other junk. And if you think I'm a monster because I don't care about one of my kids' paintings, you obviously don't have kids. Besides all that, my son is 16 now and even he doesn't want it anymore, so that painting literally has no value because my son's name isn't Jackson Pollock. This is precisely why I have zero fear of my writing or my ideas being plagiarized. It's not only because someone too lazy to write their own book isn't going to steal my ideas and write my books for me. Even when it comes to my fully written novels, there is no profit to be made in stealing and selling the work of amateurs. I mean, the authors themselves are fighting an uphill battle to get published, or if they self-publish, they have the Sisyphean task of making a name for themselves by themselves. So if the amateurs can't even sell their own work, or if they do, they usually make peanuts, what hope does the plagiarist have? If a thief were to somehow get a hold of unpublished writing by Stephen King, sure, there's ill-gotten profit to be made in that. But my writing has less value than my son's middle school Jackson Pollock imitation. Nobody bothers stealing what is worthless. Now, I'm not calling my work worthless, of course, no more than I'd use such a negative word about my wedding album. It's immeasurably valuable to me, yet I'm not worried about that being stolen and sold either, because in terms of literal monetary value, it is worthless. If I were famous, sure, there would be some value in selling such pictures to the paparazzi. Since I'm not, well, just try to get some stranger to sit down and look at your family photos. Similarly, have you ever tried to get someone to read your writing? Even personal friends and relatives? They always have an excuse not to, don't they? And if you reach out to strangers, perhaps in online writing communities, you literally have to compensate them to get them to bother with you, usually in the form of a beta read exchange, which, yeah, that's a fair trade, but think about it. Do you think John Gwynne is doing beta read swaps to convince people to read his drafts? At least not anymore. While I personally wasn't blown away by Malice, I did have to laugh at the acknowledgements where he calls out someone specifically and asks, "Now will you read it?" Before his name had value, he too struggled to get people to read his work. That's just how it is for amateurs. The public is not clamoring to get their mitts on our next book. We are showing our proverbial photo albums to strangers and trying desperately to get them to stick around for the slideshow. But what they really want to do is pretend to get a phone call and slip out the back door. Don't get me wrong, plagiarism does happen, and sometimes to people who aren't household names, but it is so rare and unlikely that the fear of it shouldn't prevent us from putting our work out there. I mean, we have to get feedback before we publish if we want our books to be half decent. And if you're so afraid that one of these beta readers is going to steal and publish your work behind your back that you avoid putting it out there at all, well, to paraphrase Book Fox in his video on the topic, the fear of plagiarism is more damaging than plagiarism itself. When it comes to our careers as writers, there are far greater risks of being scammed by fake editors, phony movie studios, or vanity publishers masquerading as one of the big five. Frauds and thieves, as a rule, tend to be lazy. They go for the quick buck, the easy mark. And the long, arduous task of marketing and publishing is by no means a quick buck. And when it comes to selling enough books to make a profit, do not try to convince me that readers are an easy mark. Not enough to make stealing the work of an amateur worthwhile for your garden variety shyster. Yes, protect your work. Be smart about who you share it with. Plagiarism is real, and there is an outside chance it could happen to you. But don't let that misplaced fear of it inhibit your progress and keeping you from achieving success. That will kill your writing career faster than plagiarism ever could. But that's just this writer's opinion. What's your take? Am I being lackadaisical about the risks of plagiarism? Is plagiarism something you worry about? Drop your comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.